Today we're going to be talking about why there's been a rise in support for reform. According to a recent poll, 42% of the UK currently support Reform Party or would consider voting for them. These statistics and the broadening of their party's appeal seem to reflect the population's desire for change. We have discussed this with a teacher of politics to see if we can understand the rise in support. And one of the reasons he spoke about was globalisation and the effect it left on people. Here's what he said.
We can trace this politics back to sort of the early 2000s when we went through something called globalisation, where the world became more of an open place, where we had sort of free market economics, where the world's got smaller because of the rise of the internet and things like that. And there's lots of people in sort of what people would call traditional communities in Britain that have been left behind by those politics, where they don't really grasp the idea of multiculturalism, or they've lost their jobs because being exported overseas and things like that. So particularly Reform does well in seaside communities in the south of England, where tourism has dried up, where there's no more industries anymore, and they can't see a future. And it's easy to blame something or someone for why you don't have a future. And that's why we're seeing all of this focus on the small boats issue, on immigration.
We then went to the public to ask why they thought there's been a rise in support. The public opinions reinforced our statistics and showed us that a want for change, discontentment with the current parties and the immigration policy are some of the main appeals for reform.
It's easier to blame migrants and the poor and set them against each other rather than accountability for the people at the top.
Because I think all of the promises that were made on Brexit came to less than many people's expectations.
I think it's discontentment with the existing parties, and you don't trust them anymore.